a big warm welcome and hello, hello, hello to everyone. So to move forward with today's topic, many of you who know me and kind of know how I normally behave would have found today's topic a little bit strange, because today's topic went out as, whether to hug or not to hug. And people would find that topic, actually, many of them wrote back to me saying, we are laughing, what kind of a talk is this? But the topic has come up for a reason. And for that reason itself, I'm going to expand the topic a little bit more. So instead of just saying, okay, should we hug or not? Should we touch or not? Should we touch or not? Okay, so we'll talk about both of these aspects, but actually the topic came about because one person came to me and they said, you always talk about hugging and you say, you should be hugging everyone. But the place where I am, and she was at an ashram at that time, they say that you shouldn't be hugging people. You shouldn't be touching people. You shouldn't be hugging people. And the reason for that is that there is, whatever their energies are, those energies then, might get transferred to you. And all of those energies, you don't know what energy somebody is coming from. And those energies would then start to impact you. So it is best that you don't touch people, that you don't come into physical contact with people. And so she was very confused, this cute little girl was very confused whether she should hug or not. Okay. When I understand energy, so I'm going to take this up from various angles because I so resonate with hugging, and I'm going to put my case forward to you. And then you decide whether you wish to hug or you don't wish to hug. So I'm going to put my case forward to you in many different ways, and maybe something will appeal and you will become a little bit more huggy-wuggy than where you are today. That's my ultimate goal for this particular session, to release your fear of a physical touch with someone. So I start off right off the bat by saying, when you have children and when the children come to you, you don't even teach them. They're not at that teaching age yet. They're just children, they're born, whatever. But anytime that you put them down, many of them will start crying. But the minute you hold them in a hug, in an embrace, when they get the touch, they quieten down. That touch brings comfort. That touch, just a touch, they're not able to speak as yet. They don't even know what's happening. They don't know you are the mother, you're the father, whatever. But when you hold them, rather than just put them down, when you hold them, that touch itself is bringing some soothing effects to the crying baby. And so, well, that's another story that many of us then just keep holding the baby like that because the baby refuses to be put down because they always want the touch. But this point, that the touch seems to be soothing, the touch seems to be doing something calming to the little one, and that's why you hold them and they begin to be a little bit more quiet. So it looks like that the touch might be a good thing. Then I just speak to you as a parent, if you're a parent or even if you're a child, when you are in a sad mood, when you're in a bad mood, and you go to your parent, let us say your parent is one of those who believes in that one should not touch because the energy will be transferred and bad energy and God knows what energy you might be holding and that will be transferred to me. And you are their child or you are the parent, either which side, but somebody, your child comes to you, or maybe your sibling comes to you, your parent comes to you, and they're feeling really, really miserable. They're feeling really miserable. They're in sad energies. Would you hold yourself back? Would you say, no, I cannot be hugging you right now? I mean, first go change your energy. You might be my child, but I don't know what kind of energies you're carrying. I'm not going to hug you. Would you be saying that? That doesn't even sound right. If your child is miserable, if your sibling is miserable, if anyone that you love is miserable, the first natural act to do is, even before words come into play, is to be able to go hold them and give them that touch, and forget about whether this is good energy or bad energy, but just holding. And that touch of comfort already feels good. Now, in this place, if you start to put your logic off, oh, this is really not the kind of energy that I want to carry forward, because, after all, the child is sad. What if I get his sadness energies? I don't want his sadness energies. But you don't think that way. You don't think that the child will give you sad energies, and you're like, okay, so what if he'll give me sad energies? At least the child should feel better right now. Why? Because this is my child and it's my responsibility to make them feel better. And so, not counting whether it is good energy or bad energy, you simply offer a hug, and it feels good. So here's one of the things that happens normally when I conduct my Ananda. Anandas are my satsangs, and these are dance satsangs, and we dance to everything. And actually, I have a rule, and I didn't make up those rules. Those rules were pretty much given to me in guidance. And the rule is that people will dance with their eyes closed, and I give people, eye patches to wear on their eyes so that their eyes are closed. They don't know who all are dancing with them. They can't see anybody else dancing. They are only just dancing by themselves. Nobody is watching them. They're not being watched. So that's the rule number one of the Ananda, dancing with, and then I must. And then the second rule is, if you bump into somebody, if you bump into anybody while you are dancing, then you and that person have to hold each other, hug each other, and dance for 30 seconds, for 1 minute, whatever is, whatever you feel like it, but you actually have to hug each other and dance. The eyes are closed. You don't even know who you are dancing with most of the times. And then, of course, I'm the only one who can watch and cheat and watch everybody dancing. And so I pull out people from corners, people who are dancing in one corner. They're very shy. They are not confident. They don't want to dance with people. And they're feeling that separation and fear from everybody else. I keep pulling them right into the middle of the room. I will dance with them. And then I will also, zabardasti say, make them dance with other people, making them hug other people. And so many times, when people are finally finished with it, they find it such an exhilarating experience, just because we've never hugged so much before. We've never hugged. I don't even know who all I hugged. I was just hugging and dancing. And so much of expansion of their heart has happened in that time. As a matter of fact, so many times people have come to me. It just happened even at the last Ananda. At the end of the Ananda, I in any case will go to everybody. I go and hug everybody. There's not a single person in the room who has not been hugged by me. And I go and hug everybody in the room. And when I finished, one lady, about, I don't know, must be in her 50s and 60s, she came to me and she said, can I ask you for one thing? And I said, yeah, sure. And she says, can you just give me one more hug? And I was like, yeah, sure, of course I can give you one more hug. And I stepped forward and I hugged her again. And she burst out crying. She said, nobody has ever hugged me like this all my life. And this just feels so beautiful. This feels so beautiful. And so this hug, why did I even come around to hugging so much or being so physical? It's not something new. As a matter of fact, when we were children, many families are a little bit, keep the distance kinds, and many families are a bit more expressive kinds. Mine was the more expressive family. And so even when I was 26 years old, I was 26 and 27, And when I would go home, in those days, when I would go back to my home and my father was sitting over there, I would still, at 26, 27 years of age, I wouldn't bother about, what somebody might say or what somebody might think. I would actually go and sit in his lap at 26, 27 and hug him and hug him. And people used to find it very strange, saying, aren't you a bit old for this kind of stuff? Like, how can you hug him? Like sitting in his lap, don't you feel embarrassed? Don't you feel shy? And I didn't. I didn't. I just loved the hug that I used to get from there. And so I was waiting for that hug, and it didn't matter to me as to how old I was. That's the way I would hug. And then father went away. Money passed on, and many years went by, 15, 16 years. And after that, in the energies, I could understand and experience and talk to, have conversations with money. And so it was amazing to have a father energy back again in life, to be able to talk to him and him guiding me all over again. All of this was beautiful, except that I couldn't receive that hug from him. I couldn't receive that hug from him. And so, everything was good, but I really, really used to miss that hug from him. And one of those days I was sitting and I was being thankful, but I was also being really sad. And I said, yeah, everything is beautiful. All is wonderful. You've come back. You guide me. It is so amazing to have you back again. And not just for me, but for so many other people as well. But I really, really miss that I cannot hug you and you don't hug me the way you used to. I slept that night. I was crying and I slept that night. And in my sleep, in my dream, money showed up. And when money showed up, and he said to me, I come to you every single day. I come to you every single day to hug you, but you don't take my hug. And I was like, what do you mean by you come to me every single day? And he said, every person who comes and hugs you, every person who comes and hugs you is me only. It is like one big mirror. And he actually said that to me, and it was so beautiful. He said, when one big mirror breaks, a big, big mirror breaks, but it breaks into what? It breaks into thousands of pieces. And so each piece is coming to you, but you don't recognize that piece as being me. And you're just like, no, this is a small piece. This is not money. I miss that hug. But it is you that is limiting yourself, because I am coming to you every single day in every single way through every hug. It's me that is coming to you. And that is the day that I broke my limits about hugging, because earlier, I used to hug, but if I'm meeting you for the first time, my hug might be or might not be there. If I'm meeting you for the third time, I might have a more formal kind of a hug that was being given out to you. If I'm meeting you for the 10th time, I might just hug you a little bit nicely. And all of that broke on the day money said, I come to you every single day, but you are the one limiting yourself. You don't accept my hugs. And so to understand that when I was looking for one particular person, a particular hug, this is almost like how we are looking at one person for love. And we're like, oh, this one is not giving me love. Oh, that one is not giving me love. And this is my family. And they are meant to love me. They are supposed to love me. They have to love me. Love doesn't happen from this space at all. Love happens when you are giving love to yourself. But that in a little bit later. But over here as well, love happens the more you express, and without, this is my family and this is not. This is my family, so I will hug them nicely. And this is not my family, so maybe not. All of that broke for me on that day. Because from that point, the minute I met somebody, whether they want to hug me or not, I would just simply go out and hug them. And they have no choice but to respond back. They have no choice. And everybody gives me a hug back. And this time, I understand that it is money through each one of them coming through for me. And so whether to hug or not, for me, it's clearly the case of father said so, so I will. And you might say, yeah, your dad said so, but he didn't say it to us, or at least we don't think so, because we might think that there's a good touch and there is a bad touch. So are you saying that we should just go around hugging people without caring whether it is a good touch or a bad touch? Should we not even tell our children that this is a good touch and this is a bad touch? Well, here's the thing. Whatever experience you are meant to have, now we move into the energy space. Whatever experience you are meant to have, whether somebody has told you about a good touch or not, whether you're a 2-year-old child or a 4-year-old child, and maybe you still haven't had a conversation about the good touch and the bad touch, but when a bad touch happens, you will feel it. You would have already felt it, and you would have felt the badness around that touch. And you would have experienced discomfort no matter how old you are. Even if you can't express yourself, you would experience something that would be uncomfortable with that touch. And so now that we understand energies, if you don't understand energy, this is going to be a very difficult pill for you to swallow. But when we understand energies, we understand that every experience that we are having, every single experience that we are having is coming from our own energy field. Every experience that we are having is coming from our own energy field. And so whether we are 2 or 4, if we are feeling that bad touch, it only means in the energy terms that the experience that is creating this mistrust, this experience that is creating this judgment of a touch, the experience that is making you uncomfortable, this energy of mistrust is already in your energy field. That energy of mistrust is what is creating these experiences for us. That energy of mistrust has come to be experienced. Whether as a parent, you want to be very, very, very prudent for your children, and you want to give them this understanding that there are good touches and there are bad touches, and you will find everywhere people talking about it, that you must. But for you to understand, when we move to the energy space, I am the powerful one. When I am the powerful one, every experience of mine, I understand, is created from my energy, because I am the creator. Nobody else has the power to make me feel anything. When so many people come to me who have experienced these so-called bad experiences with someone or the other, and sometimes many of them within the family itself, they experience the bad touch. And I simply tell them, just now that you understand energy, you work on your own self. There is no, when people might say, okay, is that I need to forgive them. And I say, no, there is no one to forgive on the outside. There is only your energy that created this experience. So really, if you wish to forgive, okay, forgive your energy. Forgive your energy only because it doesn't really judge what kind of experiences are happening. It simply is creating. It's creating not just from today, but from lifetimes and lifetimes, it is being carried over. It's the same energy that has got you here in my session, where you can understand and change that energy. So your energy that you need to forgive isn't all bad, because it was simply completing your experiences of mistrust, your experiences of fear, your experiences of lack, all of those experiences being completed so that you could have your duality experience in totality. We are here on earth to experience duality. And so as we experience duality, all of these experiences belong to us, belong to our energy field. I've spoken about this story many times, again, about all kinds of experiences. And we have such a limited vision because we don't know what all our energy has been through, what all it has seen. We have no idea. We barely have an idea of what's going on in our life this time. We definitely don't know what all we've done. And I say to you simply, if you are here learning about oneness, learning about getting to know about frequencies of surrender and faith and oneness, if you are already here, it means you've been there, done that. You've been through all of that. You've done this, you've been on the other side. You've been a victim, you've been a perpetrator, you've been this, you've been that, you've been all over the place. You've completed your experiences, and that's what brings you here. For example, like, and this was the story that I was going to, because I talk about this, again, I have a very limited understanding of who money is. Money is father in this life, but I've been through several past lives. Past lives fall in front of me these days many a times, but, or rather used to, but now not anymore so much. But past lives will come to me, and in those past lives I can almost recognize, oh, this one, money. So I have seen money as my daughter. I have seen money in a few different other roles as well. And then one day, money, I was just sitting, no thoughts in mind, and suddenly, money comes to me in my guidance, and he says to me, okay, I need to tell you something. So I said, yeah. So he says, oh, there was this one life then when I raped you. And there was this one life when I raped you. Now, having dropped all my judgments about who is the victim, who is the perpetrator, it is my energy. Having dropped all of those judgments, I'm just simply thinking, and I said to him, I said, okay, now what do you want to do? All right, that was a life. You did what you had to do. It was a role. I had a role. We both played our roles, and we are done with it. You want to say something? Okay, say sorry. At which he says, why should I say sorry? You say sorry first, because you raped me first in yet another life. So just to be able to understand that we have no idea what our energies have been through, what roles people have played, whatever, but to understand that a role is a role. So going back to the touch, going back to the good touch and the bad touch, if your energy is of mistrust, if your energy is of mistrust, you will experience, if you've been experiencing one bad touch and you haven't worked on your own energy, then you can be quite sure that that bad touch might come through again, through somebody else, through the same person, whatever it is. But that bad touch is not about putting that person out or taking that person away from your life. Now that you understand energy, it is all about working on your energies of mistrust, on your energies of mistrust. Now coming to this, whether we should touch or not, whether we should hug or not, many people will come to me and say, oh, I walk into a room and I take other people's energies because I'm such an empath. I take other people's energies and I need to be, I need to be in my own zone. I cannot be taking all of these bad energies, sad energies, and heavy energies from other people. Again, to be able to understand in the energy, you cannot separate just because you keep separation in the body. Okay, I'm going to go from here and I'm going to go sit in the next room, and that will not let their energy impact me. Firstly, all the energy, all the frequencies, theirs and yours, no matter who you think that the energy belongs to, that energy also belongs to you. It also belongs to you. Being in their proximity might have simply just tuned your own energy of sadness or whatever heavy feeling that you are sitting with or you think that you are going to sit with after this. It would tune you not into their energy, but into your energy. Into your energy. So no matter how afraid you are, oh, I don't want to be close to this person, I don't want to meet this person, oh, every time I meet this person, my mood goes down because their energy is so heavy. It's not their energy that you're tuning into, it's your own energy that is resonating with that energy of theirs. It's your energy that's resonating with their energy. And so what do you need to do? Nothing. Simply recognize it's just a frequency. It's just a frequency. Whether they are resonating at grief or at sadness or in sorrow or in depression, whatever their energy might be, you can simply understand it's just a frequency. It is just a frequency. You can tune into theirs, but they can also tune into yours. So, what is it that you want to be at? Where do you want to sit at? So that when people tune into your energies, they're able to say, ah, such wonderful energies you have. Which energy do you want to be stationed at? If the answer is Masti, well, you have the easy way out. All that you need to do is take energy from the Masti frequency. I am Meenal, I am Masti, I take energy from this frequency, and that is it. It will station you. It'll make you the transmission tower for Masti. Whatever they are the transmission tower of, whatever you are the transmission tower of, you're also the receiver at the same time, and they are also the receiver at the same time. So just instead of sitting in this fear, because where is this, even this line that you shouldn't touch each other, you might take on somebody's energy. Where is this line even coming from? This line is only coming from fear. This line is only coming from fear of taking on somebody's energy and only getting the bad part of it, only getting the bad part of it. What if you went around thinking, oh, everybody's energy, I'm going to tune into the love part of it? Would you not be receiving the love because you already know that they have love to give? I'm going to exchange only love with them. If you go with this thought, I can tell you that this is all that you are going to receive. Only love, because it is actually, when we begin to understand energies, the one thing that I say again and again, outside, nobody exists. And so everybody will simply give you what you are out there transmitting. So if you are transmitting love, then you can be rest assured that you will be receiving love. With so many times, when children even grow up and they become individuals, and sometimes parents will, parents are like, oh my God, this girl of mine is coming over, this daughter of mine is coming over, this son of mine is coming over. And every time he comes, there is so much friction. We just can't see eye to eye. Oh my God, I'm already depressed at the thought of my own children coming over. And it's all very true. Everybody has their own energy fields. And when they come in now, there is no resonance between yours and theirs. But when you understand energy, the work is not on them. The work is not about thinking, oh, when will they change? How will they change? Why are they not changing? What made them like this? Why aren't they better people? I didn't make them like this. I'm such a good person. Why are they such amazingly bad characters? The work is in recognizing that if they come home and they are behaving in a certain way, the only question you have to ask yourself still is, what am I feeling? I'm feeling the judgment on this person. How can they be like this? I'm feeling the judgment on them, on their character traits or whatever. Even with your own children, it happens sometimes. But if it is happening, the work is on you only to focus on that one question. What am I feeling? Because they are your actors to show you what you are feeling. Whatever, I'm feeling so sad, I'm feeling tense, I'm feeling anxiety, I'm getting a panic attack that my son is going to come and spend time with me. If you are getting a panic attack, the sun is simply a tool, a trigger for your anxiety. Who does the anxiety frequency belong to? It belongs to you. So in this place, when you are not touching someone or you are not hugging someone for the fear of catching their anxiety or their fears, understand you are already sitting in fears. Sitting in fears, that is your frequency. And guess what? You walk into a room and you are fearful of catching some other frequency of not feeling good after you've left the room, not feeling good being in the company of someone, you can be rest assured that every time somebody or the other walks into the room, half a dozen times, you are going to be feeling the heaviness. But that heaviness, this is where the energy work comes in. The heaviness doesn't belong to them. It's beautiful. It's easy to understand that the heaviness belongs to you. And so if you are going to feel heavy, and it belongs to you, how easy it is for us to release it. If it belongs to them, we've got to convince 28 people, tell them to change. They might change, they might not change. But here is the beautiful, easy part. Every experience, everything in my energy field belongs to me, is created by me. If it's created by me, how easy it is for me to change myself. All it takes is a tiny little bit of awareness. So much for the hugs and the argument for the hugs. So how many people in the group now want to be hugging more? Because the more that you hug, the more you are going to receive that love right back. Outside, nothing exists except for your own mirrors. And if you look at your natural reaction, which is what I was pointing out to you in the first place, if you look at your natural reaction towards the so-called loved ones that you had, your first natural reaction is to love, is to hug. So that is why to go towards more hugs, and then to break this idea that this is my family. This is all that my family is, these two people. I can only hug these. I should not be hugging anybody else. I should not be hugging, strangers on the road or whatever. If you do, I can rest assure you that if you've broken your judgments and you do hug people on the streets, you are going to be pleasantly surprised. You're definitely going to be pleasantly surprised. Okay. But I love touching you, mommy. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Not to hold such a limited view of who you love to hug. To be able to break that limited view of, where to hug, who not to hug. Oh, I like hugging Meenal, but not so much somebody else. So that's exactly the point that was being made, that no, don't just simply be limited by, I should hug this, I should not hug this one, I should hug this one, because outside there is no other. When you hug someone, you think you're expressing your love for them. I understand that it is only my love for myself in that form that is growing, because there is no other. So when I hug somebody on the outside, or whether I hug my own self, there is only one thing that happens through both. It happens that the love for the self increases. The judgments for the other break. The judgments, when I go and hug somebody, I have to come from this place of such little judgment. If I'm open to hugging you, I cannot be judging you. Oh, what an ass. Oh, what a terrible person. And then go out and hug you. It doesn't work that way. For me to be hugging you, I would have to drop that judgment. But when I drop a judgment for you, who am I really dropping the judgment for? It's only for myself. And so the more I hug somebody on the outside, the more I'm able to love my own self. The more I'm able to love my own self. And it is so beautiful, our so-called enemies, our so-called people who are against us. When I meet with anyone, the only thing that is here is, this is me in front of me and I can hug them. No backstory, no forward story, no story in that moment except the hug. And that is when the hug is full and complete as love to yourself. What is he saying behind your back? What will he say tomorrow? What did he say yesterday? Inconsequential, totally inconsequential. The hug is complete in that moment, where in that moment you give yourself to that person only because there is no other. There is no other.
So,
Yes.
hi, Priti here. Just say
Yes.
one question. Sometimes the hugs or the touch, we feel we have discomfort. Okay.
Yes.
So that is also the energy field. What?
I just answered that. That the work, when you are experiencing that discomfort, that, oh my God, this touch doesn't feel good. This is bad touch. It is your frequency of mistrust. It is your frequency of mistrust that is bringing those people in front of you who have a bad touch. Why are these people coming to you? Because your frequency is calling them. But what part of your frequency, which frequency of yours is calling them? The frequency of mistrust. Because when you are when you are judging the touch, it's a judgment. The judgment of the touch as something, when you are judging the touch as bad, then you are going to be looking at that person and pointing the finger at them. Think that person's touch is bad, but there exists no other. So what is the only question that we ask ourselves at all times? What am I feeling?
What am I feeling? Correct. Right.
When I ask myself, what am I feeling? Oh, I'm not feeling trust on this person. I can't trust this person. If I can't trust this person, whose mistrust is it? It's my mistrust. And that is why. And that is why I say, when such people come to you, the work is not on kicking those people out of your life. You can do what you want. That is action. But the important work within is to be able to work on your frequency of mistrust.
Correct. Got it.
Wonderful. All right. So, so that is what we had answered earlier as well about the good touch and the bad touch. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Okay, let's see. Somebody. Okay, so somebody says, Sadhguru also mentions that don't hug to people. This will be creating something. Ruran Bhand, whatever that is. You know, as I said, I'm going to put my case forward to you, and he's put his case forward to you, and then whether to hug or to not to hug is simply going to be an individual choice. So since I go from these perspectives of energies, for me and for everybody who comes to me, the hugging is an essential, integral part of our love for each other. And so when I hug, I understand that just as a mother would hug her children without thinking. A mother would hug her children, and that's where we started from. So you, whoever is writing to me, you know, would you hug your children? Would you hug your children? If they're feeling sad, if they're not feeling good, would you hug your children? Or would you restrict yourself because it might create, I don't know what this word is, she writes, Ruran Bandha, or whatever the word is, I don't even
Runanubandh.
Okay. So would you, when your children come to you and they're feeling miserable and they just need some, you know, some love, would you say, no, I'm not going to hug you because it will create Ruanubandha? Or would you hug them? If you would hug them, then why just your children? Why would you not hug somebody else? Oh, these are my children. Now, this is where you would be limiting yourself in a big way, not just to giving love, also to receiving love. And so I've put my case forward as to how I understand it from the mother's perspective. And I understand when you come to me, no matter who comes to me, you call me Ma, whether you call me Ma or you don't call me Ma. But I hug you as a mother would hug the child. And I do not think even once that your energies of sadness would be what would be coming to me, and they might sit with me and they might do something to me or create something. I just hug in that moment, and the love is what I give, and love is what I receive. And that is where my perspective sits in. Okay. So somebody also writes, Ma, someone once told me, if you hug someone who dislikes, you can do black magic. Who dislikes you, they can do black magic on you through the hug. Okay, so firstly, I already have a webinar on black magic. So you can go and watch all of that fun stuff about black magic. But to say that somebody can do black magic on you, yeah? And through the black magic, what will they do? They will bring you bad luck. What is bad luck? Things will not go according to you, and they will bring it to you. So now they are your energy field, and you don't have an energy field. Your energy field has gone off to sleep, and they will have all control over your energy field by a mere hug. Do you even know what frequency this is? Can you tell me what frequency this is?
Fear.
Yeah, perfectly. Right. Totally fear. Now you can sit in fear and stay away from the world, because there will be black magic all over you, because you don't know who likes you and who dislikes you. And because there's outside people who dislike you. When you come back to the energy space, is there anybody outside who dislikes you and likes you? There is no other.
Yes, ma, this was before.
When somebody experiences dislike from someone, let us say you experience dislike from someone. Somebody comes and tells you, I don't like you. Your reactions might be two. Firstly, it might bother you. Secondly, it might not bother you. Okay. If it bothers you, if it's the first part that somebody comes and tells you that they don't like you, and it bothers you, then the work is on you. Because now that person's dislike has become a trigger on you. So you look at that person and see, when he said that to me, when he said, I don't like you, what am I feeling? What am I feeling? I'm feeling hurt. I'm feeling hurt. I'm feeling disappointed. I didn't even do something. Why don't they like me? I'm feeling hurt and judged. So this hurt frequency belongs to whom? It belongs to you. And that is why the work has come on the hurt frequency. The work has also come on expectations. You have expectations from people that everybody should like you. It's their story, whether they like you or they don't like you. You are also playing a role in their story, no? So whatever they might think of you has got to do with their story. And when you understand that it's their story, then the second part response will happen, which is somebody will come and tell you, we don't like you, and you'll be okay with it. It won't bother you. It won't be a trigger, because you'll be like, okay, that's okay if they don't like me. It's all right. And it won't trigger you when you are not tuned into hurt, when you've already worked on yourself. When something triggers us, only then we got to work on ourselves. But if nothing is triggering us and we're able to understand, they have their own story. It's okay. That story doesn't have to match with mine. I don't have expectation that the whole world should like me. The most important part is I should like me. Because there is no other. When I like me, when I love me, that is all that is going to be reflected back at you. And you will see it in so many beautiful ways. But when somebody is out there and you go and hug them, and now sitting with this, oh, they might be able to do black magic on me because I hugged them. That hug is immediately turned to the frequency of fear. That moment immediately becomes laden with fear. And then what will happen? Of course, all kinds of black magic will happen. Why? Because you created it. You created, through your fear of black magic, you created black magic for yourself, because there is no other. So any kind of hug will do something that you shouldn't be hugging. Those people are sitting in fear, but the very fact that you resonated with it only means that you are sitting in that same space too. So now you can become a little bit aware and move towards fearlessness. And have you ever seen me? How many times in an evening that you have come to me and taken hugs from me? In an evening, I understand, oh my God, the average is about 6 to 7. When there's a party of 100, I know even in 100, I shell out about 600 to 700 hugs in just a party of 100. Why? What is it that you receive that you keep coming back and back for that hug? You receive love. You receive love. But for that love to happen, firstly, you have to be open. You have to be open to loving, to open to hugging, to be able to understand, that there is no other. This is me only that I'm hugging. There is no other. Only me.
This question, this came to me before EM 30. And thereafter, I don't get scared. But I just, yesterday, this person asked me again that I had told you 1 year back, but you didn't reply. So I said, now I can tell you that there is no other. And I said, you better watch this webinar on YouTube because I'll ask this question so that you can get the answer. So
Okay.
I don't.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Now they have the answer, and now you have the answer. All right, then. Wonderful. Okay. I'm just thinking if I've covered all the questions. Yes. Again, as I said, I put my argument in front of you, and not just from the energy perspective, not because money said so, not because money said one mirror breaks into 1,000 pieces, but also your own natural reaction to your own tiny little children, your own children's reactions when they get hugged. That is a natural human response. To resist from that natural human response is to resist love. That is my take on hugs and touches. And I touch people and I hug people, and I don't understand a bad touch. And so every touch that comes to me is pure. It's pure love. And I see it from that perspective. And from there, it becomes that. I'll take one last story, because you say, oh yeah, because you are the mother to everybody right now, then everybody only must be coming with that touch. And that's not true. Many people in my journey, I have come across still, even in as late as 2 years ago, when somebody walked into my house and they wanted me to be something different with them. And I was simply watching the whole play. Not for a single moment did I stop hugging. Even to that person also received as many hugs from me, didn't get thrown out of my house. I was completely okay in understanding that that is his story. I have one story that I am receiving love, and all touches are beautiful. In that space, while he was there with me only, in that space, he showed me many aspects, many places where I was still holding judgments. He showed me many of those places to me, and I was able to break those judgments. So I tell people, in those 7 or 8 days while he was there, he was like a guru to me. Because as a guru, he was teaching me so many places where I had not looked at, so many words, that held weightage for me. And he showed them to me. I was able to release the weightage on those words. I've actually discussed this in another webinar in great detail, because this person kind of called me a prostitute. And I was like, the first minute that he said something to that effect, I was so angry as to how he could do that. But I then, within the first few seconds of being so angry, I recognized that, oh, I'm getting triggered by the choice of words that he is using. I'm getting triggered. That means the work is on me. If I'm getting triggered, the work is only on me. And so I left that space. I went in, I chatted with Mani, I had a conversation, I took guidances, I worked on the word prostitute. And then I was totally able to release what the meaning of a prostitute is, somebody who sells something. Everyone is selling something. Today, I'm selling you this concept, and that you should hug. It's a concept. I'm selling it to you. Somebody, as a banker, I was selling, papers of 100 crores, 200 crores. As a prostitute, somebody is selling what they have. And I was able to break that judgment and not feel that how can somebody call me that? And the minute I came to that place, that person had to show it to me. I was able to break the judgment. The minute I came to that place, the next day, without having a conversation with him, I only worked on my own self, not had a single conversation with him. I left the room that night, and then in the morning, when he was there, I walked out and met with him, and he calls me Ma. The next day, calls me Ma. So beautiful that overnight, when I worked on myself, the work already happened in the energies. There was nothing that he had to do. Only I had to look at my own judgments. The work was for me, and he was my guru in that minute. Vaishi Vyapari. Yeah. And then when you call somebody a prostitute, it means very different for the woman. So from that space, I hadn't broken my judgment at that time. And then uske baad to it was fun, because I'm like, all right, totally. वो कोई और क्या prostitute, हम सारे ही तो prostitute. कौन नहीं बेच रहा? सब कुछ ही तो कुछ ना कुछ बेच रहे हैं. कौन क्या नहीं बेच रहा? So from that place. All right then. Okay, everybody. If there is anyone, because my meditation today is going to be all about hugging. So if there is anyone who feels that, no, this is not the right place to be, then this meditation is not for you. All right, then, everybody on this space, take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And as you exhale the next time, I take energies from Meenal. I am Meenal. I take energy from Meenal. I am Meenal. Okay, after a long time, this is going to happen. Tap your forehead. Tap your forehead. And as you tap your forehead, I am Meenal. I am Meenal. I take energy from Meenal. I am Meenal. Putting all your focus on the forehead, and now you can let it be. You've simply opened the forehead to receive, to receive. I take energy from Meenal. I am Meenal. Experience a beautiful light. Experience a beautiful light of love. It could be any color, but the light holds love. The light holds love. So experience this beautiful light frequency, holding love, coming to you from the forehead, coming to you from the forehead, and moving straight to the heart. It's moving straight to the heart, into your heart. This energy coming from your forehead, moving straight to the heart, this energy of love, going straight to the heart. As you sit in the frequency of Meenal, firstly, experiencing the love for yourself. So imagine yourself as a tiny little baby, maybe 6 months, maybe even younger, maybe a year, but you are that tiny little baby. You're the tiny little baby, and you are the grown-up as well. You are the grown-up as well. And look at the baby. Look at the baby that is you. Look at the baby with so much love because it is you. And as you look at the baby that is you, simply pick up the baby, pick the baby up and hug. Hug the baby tightly. So much love flowing from the you of now to the you then, the you that is the baby form. The love flowing from you to you in this moment. Hug the baby, rock it from side to side. Feel the love. Look at the baby in the eyes. Smile. Smile. And feel the smile going all the way through to the baby's eyes as well. As the baby, you already have your energy field. You have many experiences. You have many experiences yet to come, but many are on their way already, even though you might just be such a small baby. So no matter what the baby looks like, maybe it might feel happy, maybe it's not feeling so happy, but in this moment, simply hug the little one. All of the experiences right now dissolving as it receives so much love from you. From the heart to the heart. Kiss the baby. Kiss them on the forehead, on the cheeks, on the eyes. This is your showering of love on yourself. You might have done it to others. You might have done it to your children. You might have done it to others. But this time, you are doing this to yourself. So much love to yourself. Feeling the love, feeling totally satiated as the baby. You can see yourself, this grown-up one that is you. You don't recognize, you don't even realize, but you're receiving the love. And the love you recognize. Every baby recognizes the love, and so you do. You recognize love when you see it. And this is the purest form of love. Unadulterated, flowing in this moment from you to you. Hug the baby as much as you feel, till you can see that the baby is smiling, contented, maybe happy, maybe sleepy, but smiling and content. Experience the baby. Experience the baby as you are, even right now. Hold the baby close to you and integrate, merge with that baby. Merge. Now, no longer are you and the baby separate. The two of you are now one. In this body, experiencing that complete contentment of having received love through this beautiful hug, experiencing it, integrating with it, and now becoming one. And now, as you sit in this place of such deep love right now, the one that you're experiencing, the one that is coming out from every pore of yours. This love right now, the frequency that you are sitting in. Now think of someone that you don't like. Think of someone that is giving you a hard time. You may know the person, you might not know the person, could be anybody, but you think that they are giving you a hard time. It could be somebody who's been giving you a hard time for a long time, or it could be somebody you just met, or maybe didn't even meet, but already you think they are giving you a hard time. Bring this person in front of you, but not as the adult that you know them as, simply in the form of a baby. In the form of a baby. It could be any face, it could be any features, it could be anything, but in the form of a baby. Think of them as a baby. And as you see this baby in front of you, and the baby calls out you, the baby is calling out to you with their arms stretched. They've given you a difficult time, but right now in this baby form, they're simply calling out to you with their arms stretched. What are you going to do? Well, of course, the love that you are in this moment, every part of you, every pore of yours is love. And so you simply put your hands out, your arms out, and you hold the baby and you hold them close to you. And you hug the baby. You hug the baby. The baby is sad. The baby might be troubled. The baby might have a role for you. But in this moment, all that you have is a baby. And so you hold that baby and simply rock them. You rock them from side to side. You rock them, giving them all the love that you can. You allow this pure love to flow from you to this baby, the one that in the adult form is out there doing things that you so don't like. But right now, in this baby form, the only thing that you have to give to them is love. And so in this moment, simply giving them love, holding them with so much love and giving them so much love. And when you look into their eyes and you can see they're smiling, they're feeling contentment, they're feeling completely satiated. When that happens, bring the baby close to you and integrate this one with you as well. This one, this adult that you don't so like, this adult right now, in the baby form, the love that you've given, integrate the energies, integrate. Bring them to oneness. There is no other. This baby is you. This baby is also you. There is no other in all forms, actors everywhere, but this one too is you. And so easy for us to hold them right now when we ourselves are filled with so much love. And so becoming one, integrating to the energies of this one as well. There is no other. And so if there are any others that you feel are giving you a hard time, not listening to you, being difficult, all of that stuff, all that you have to do is repeat this process. Bring them to you in the baby form. Firstly, give love to yourself. Be in this space of complete love, and then hug, spend some time with everybody that you like, that you don't like, but just hugging them close to your heart as a baby. Why a baby? Because when we mostly see babies, our judgments are released. In the adult form, if you find difficult to hug, this is the best way. To understand them that it is not about them. It is simply about you and your judgments. And when you release the judgments, this beautiful hug goes out to everyone. Sitting in this beautiful space of love, experiencing this love for the self. Om Mani, Om Mani, Om Mani. Okay, everyone. Lots and lots of love to all of you. Bye, everybody. Have fun. Thank you, everyone.